knock on wood. Hopefully, got a lot of good internet bandwidth today. No shenanigans. Yeah. It was nice though. Took a little break, had the computer reloaded, got back on, and they were still working. So I was like, cool. This was yesterday's show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
I'm making fun of you, actually.
Yeah, I know. I got to watch, man. I clipped it up. Clipped it up.
I come back on and you're
What's up? Josh JRB5. This is Kevin. And this is IZ316. I've got somebody with numbers in their name, just like me.
What's happening?
Kevin's rap name, if he ever makes a rap album, is gonna be K711. That's I called him K711 for the longest time. I've had it on there, and
You mean it's not gonna be 7 Up yours?
Oh, it is funny. But yeah, it's Sunday. Here we are. This is Art Assault, episode 99. We're gonna have some fun. You see, we've got what episode did we do that on, Kevin? You're the bank of information. We did the Mauve and Tall chicken, and,
Jesus Christ!
and then the eggs, whatever you.
Oh my gosh, it was last year sometime.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna sacrifice them. We're gonna sacrifice them and do something new today. In honor of Snoop Dogg, I'm gonna paint my version of Snoop Dogg. He's gonna paint
the
his.
members from my band, and that's what they came up with.
Yeah. When is that show? Do you know? I was meant to look. I think it's in August 26th. That got in my head. Snoop Dogg.
He's come back to town, I heard.
Yeah, interest.
Yeah, and he interest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's dope. He owes me a verse, so if I could just get that,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Snoop.
Yeah. Snoop's always watching.
Now is he coming as Snoop Dogg the rapper, or is he coming as Snoop Dogg the DJ?
I assume the rapper, because like Wiz Khalifa, I think, and somebody else. I don't know.
That's what's up.
We did the banners at work for him, but I didn't pay too much attention. But yeah,
no, the big thing is we got that show in Salina, the Baca show, the 29th.
I think I'm slacking. I don't think I have a slide of it, but yes, 29th, Rock for Baca.
And then all of August, I'll be showing my artwork at the Donut Hole.
That's coming up. Jeez.
Yes, it is coming up quick. I need to start getting those mid-afternoon performers lined up. And then yours is September, all of September at the Donut Hole.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to be.
And so I haven't looked at
figuring out how to
artwork-wise. I haven't looked at anything past the last couple of months. Yeah. Except for, I guess, what is it? Our final Friday thing is Freedom or something like that. I don't know. Is that what you decided?
If there is one, I mean, that one really knocked my dick in the dirt.
I
had such big dreams for it, and then I hate it. I mean, I looked at it today and hung it on the wall. It's been kind of sitting in the corner in trouble.
Which one?
That one there. It was supposed to be.
I like it. That's the first one that stood out to me.
Futuristic mundane.
Yeah. Well,
the 3D.
The perspective. I've been on a perspective kick.
Perception. Yeah.
So.
I mean, that just tells you how evolved I am. I mean, I'm basically an art critic now.
Because the moment he said futuristic, mundane, what I did popped right in my head. It was a toilet with a rocket on it.
Yours did good.
Yeah, it sold. It's even sold. So
I need to get the pictures on here and get them edited up.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to go pick up those others. You get me in trouble, Kevin. Well, I wonder if everything's working. Looks like we got two viewers right now.
What up?
What's going on, guys? Let us know how everything's working.
Is it our hardcore people right now?
Got somebody tuning in from Twitch.
Ooh. Twitch is never safe.
Our Saturday show, we had that gal twice. She's came on.
We've had some pretty wild.
Staffy.
We've had some pretty wild people from Twitch.
Yeah, it's usually not good. It's usually pretty crazy. Sex scammers and
because we
all
had
kinds of weird
what's
stuff.
her name from the Baka stuff here, and there was just some guy being a total jerk.
Yeah, I thought Kevin didn't know. I thought Kevin just forgot how to use this over here because the screen was like all messed up. And I'm like, Kevin, what are you doing? And he's like,
I'm trying to go.
And I'm like,
oh. Yeah, I wasn't trying to. Yeah, because the only thing that were on there. Yeah,
you gotta expect the unexpected.
Yeah. Well, we did, but because normally we'll click on here like that.
What's up, Jana?
So people can read it.
What's up, Jana?
I was gonna click on it.
Go visit iz316.com.
Yep.
Buy a t-shirt. Listen to some music. See some pictures of the world's sexiest rapper. That type of thing.
So let's before we get into your music, let's get our thing out of here. Our formalities. Yeah, that sounded dirty. Get our thing out of here, Kevin. Get it out of the gutter. Jesus.
I already said our part.
All right, we always gotta say something stupid and go right into our. Hey, shout out to Talking Beard Networks. Thanks for letting us say something stupid. And broadcast on there since 2021, like episode 5, I think.
It's right at the turn.
Right
of the
at 5.
year.
That's what I'm calling it.
Right at the turn of the year.
Yeah. Big Sexy Beard brand for letting us broadcast on their StreamYard. Thank you. I can save you 20% with the best beard products in the world. SexPod is the best scent, so just go on over to bigsexybeardbrand.com. Use the code JRB520. Yeah.
Yeah.
The infomercial.
The infomercial. You get your other camera going too, aren't you?
Yeah. You gonna start first, or you want me to start?
I guess
first?
I'll start first.
Okay. Want to get the wheel?
Huh?
Want to get the wheel out? Want me to get the spinner out?
On the spinner? Maybe you need to start doing that. Huh?
Well, here, let me hit record.
Yeah. You trained me to stay out of the way of the darn thing now, so I do. Okay. I guess I'll paint on the one with the 2 eggs.
That's yours. It's your baby. Doesn't matter. But yeah. So you want to hop up here in the hot seat? It's a good thing about being. You can't get too comfortable. Play music chairs. Yeah, we're gonna do some kind of giveaway. What do we want? We already got our number written down. Still want to do that number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got our number written down.
Let's do it backwards.
Okay.
I don't think we can we?
Oh no, we can't.
What are we going up to?
500. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
You pick. I trust you.
We'll go with you, Rich.
All right, cool.
Like I said, we ain't gonna announce it till the end, so they can guess all they want. We'll do more stickers. I got some ideas for some new stickers, so I'm gonna get them done this week. Last week with the 4th of July, it was a weird. I got Tuesday off. I didn't get Monday off.
Oh wow.
So then I went ahead and took Friday off to go with the kid. We went to the museum, and it was fun. I wanted to go do something because I still haven't told her what, because I don't want her to be super disappointed. And I know she's in there listening, so I can't say it right now. But we wanted to do something super fun, but we had to wait because of the weather. So she was talking about wanting to go to the museum, the World Treasure, the one downtown.
Okay.
And she was the mummies and the shrunken heads. She's like, Dad, are those real? And I'm like, it says they are, I mean.
You don't even want to find out.
Yeah. Like, you need to watch Beetlejuice to see how they shrunk their heads. That's all I know.
Don't say it 3 times, we'll be all right.
It's a common theme, isn't it? There was, but Candyman had, you don't say his name 3 times.
Yeah, well, 3. Like, if I was going to be a villain,
I think there was one more.
I think you had to say mine like 2.6 times, not quite 3,
Say it once, I'm there.
Just one. That's
That's it.
I'm on you.
Yeah.
Unless
I'm bored.
Unless I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm there. But yeah. So, got the giveaway. Everybody out there listening, I don't know. Hopefully we're still broadcasting, right?
All right. Let's see.
It looks like everything's good. Kevin's slopping some paint. So, all right, let's talk about your music a little bit here.
Let's do it.
let's talk about your music. Like I said, we were talking a little bit before. We talked about. I left my notes in there. What cycles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that was the main one that stuck out for me because it kind of. How's the verse go? Like that's something about now we're rivals.
That's these vicious cycles turn us into rivals.
Yes.
When your family got to eat, you be damn near homicidal.
Yeah.
The stress of the city turn us into psychos. We economic slaves being lynched by our FICO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did that? What kind of mindset were you in when you were writing that
one? I was actually watching the news, and I had watched a documentary like the week before about like urban housing, and then I seen this news clip about urban housing, and it was like the same thing from the 60s until now. It's just the same play, and it's like we get caught up in these cycles of life where we just trying to provide for ourselves on an everyday level, and we're not thinking about higher things in life. And now we're looking at each other as if we're enemies when we're all trying to achieve the same thing. And at the end of the day, we're the ones that's being exploited for others' economic gain.
Yeah.
And so I think that sometimes we tend to forget that because the news and different outlets propagate and make everything always about gender, it's about race, it's about this or that. But what happens when people from both races or both genders or whatever have the same experience? Then can you call it like an anomaly, or do you see that it's a pattern, it's a cycle of events that you got to think on a higher path in order to break those cycles?
Well, it's I went down the rabbit hole with a lot of stuff, and what the funniest thing that got me about all of it is how there used to be a job. I think I've said it on here numerous times, but there used to be a job as a philosopher, right? But where does that job now? It's kind of the comedians are now the philosophers. They kind of bring it to us, in humor.
Yeah.
And like I said, George Carlin, man, he's one of the ones. I don't know if you've ever.
Oh yeah, he's hilarious,
dude. But some of his shit is spot on. It's just like
he was like prophetic almost. Some of the stuff he was saying back in the 80s, 70s. You hear it now, you like, wow, that's.
And it's still today.
Maybe he was one of the writers for The Simpsons because they get it. they get it right a lot too.
That shit is weird. I don't know. What is it? The Mandela effect and that shit. I'm like, I could have sworn. How are y'all? We all out there? We just left. It was break. Union negotiated break. We had to take a break. Commercials. Did you get those commercials?
It was in my rider. I was like, I gotta do like 2 minutes and I need a break.
Yeah.
We forgot all the blue M&Ms.
Yeah. Yeah, only blue.
We had a friend on. She's been on there several times. Well, about 2 or 3 times actually, and She plays music, Santia. And we were messing around and said, yeah, you can even get what color M&Ms you want. I said, I want blue. So we went and bought a bunch and pulled out all the blue.
I think
Gave it to her. She was eating blue M&Ms for like 2 straight days.
She's on my Facebook friends.
Yeah, she's actually, I think, playing tonight at Kirby's too.
Man the helm,
Kirby
Kevin.
Spears.
Huh? Oh yeah, I'm moving. What's going on?
Just man the helm.
Oh, I said
Don't let it crash, Kevin.
shoot, like I know what to do once it crashes. I swear every system's different when you move around.
Yeah, it's time for an upgrade.
But yeah, there's going to be a benefit show for Erica Profit from Criminal Rolls because she rolled her car, so they're doing a benefit for her today.
Okay.
So
I think you guys weren't expecting the influx of my millions of friends crashing your network at once. And so I take blame for that. But
we broke the internet.
keep coming, guys. Yeah.
they're coming back. They're coming back. Yeah, for I don't know. Did you show what you're giving away or not?
I just said we're doing stickers.
Some of your stickers and whatnot. So yeah,
I got some new stickers.
as
ideas.
always, between 1 and 500, we have a number.
What's up, Miss Shanita?
Is that one of yours?
One of my many
Oh,
followers.
because usually when we get someone new that I don't know, I'm assuming it's followers from somebody else. So,
We got a couple.
but sometimes we get some people come on that's never been on. Yeah, I'm blind. I can't help it. Yeah, Jana's one of our hardcore.
What's up, Jana? How you doing?
She's probably got at least a crate full of stuff from us. So where were we when it cut off?
We're talking about cycles. When we crashed the internet.
Ooh, it crashed the internet.
And what was the other one that I said earlier?
Better late than never.
Better late than never. I just like it because I'm like always like I used to be fashionably late. You know that was now that I'm old. I don't like to be. I'm like 20 minutes early. And,
Yeah, me too.
Because I got to go to the bathroom.
Right. And I probably went before I left too. But yeah, so the whole album of Melon and Sons, and I actually got 2 new albums coming out, and we can talk about those too. But the whole thing about it it's really kind of like a concept album. When I listen to my favorite rappers, which like Biggie, Tupac, Nas, there's some other ones, but that people actually know. We talked about Snoop. Anytime you listen to like their debut albums in particular, they brought you into their world. You understood what it was like to be where they're from, their friends, their culture, what they did. And so I wanted Melon and Sons to be that. I wanted to be an expression of what it was like to be a young black teen in Wichita growing up when I did. And so that's why the music is very melodic, it's slow paced because that represents Wichita, whether we like it or not. When you travel to bigger cities, you know the difference. Yeah. And so I wanted the music to reflect that. And so Better Late Than Never was a message saying that, it's better that you change now than never. Like make a choice to be a righteous person today. Don't wait until some uncanny events happen and now you want to make the change. It's like it's was also my time to say, hey, it's better that I get this message out to you now than never. And that song, I thought it would do better than it actually did, but I guess it just depends on what you consider good or whatever.
Success is subjective.
Yeah,
it's subjective.
I like it because it's really it's one of my favorites on the album. There's a video to it too that's on YouTube that we did at Chisholm Trail Park.
Nice.
And so it's amazing what you can do with different scenery. As an artist is from Wichita, I try to use the things that I have around me. There's only so much that we can do that other artists haven't done. Yeah. But I chose that one because what it symbolized was the video was as I'm walking through the trees and the different paths in life, you find yourself off the beaten path sometimes. You don't, know where you're going, and sometimes it's hard to tell the front from the back, but then you hit this opening, you know what I'm saying? You hit this spot where you more free in your life, and that's what the video was supposed to represent.
And where can you find this video at?
It's on my YouTube channel. You can I would suggest just Googling IZ316, and then
I'll link it up.
That's the best way to find whatever you want to find about me. Whether it's music, whether it's other podcasts that I've done, my website. If you want to contact me to do your cousin's bar mitzvah, or your grandmother's Tupperware party, maybe. Yeah, or the grand opening for your OnlyFans. I'm available for those type of things.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, we're working on our OnlyFans. Come on now.
You know what I mean? You got to get this non-traditional.
Paint ain't cheap.
You know?
Yeah.
You got to get it.
Hey, there we are again.
We're back again.
Another break. Sorry. I assume the stream kept going. I
broke the internet again.
No, this happens once in a great while. Just had a few problems yesterday too. Well, we got Russ Young on here now.
Okay, we're gonna try to
keep guessing, Russ.
I'm trying to bring down my legions of fans that follow wherever I go. I broke the internet twice. You got
you're just bigger than life, and it can't handle you.
Thank you.
You so I want to. Okay, before we lose connection again, I got a question here.
Okay.
What was the first album for you? The album that made you in love with music?
I can't think of the title of it, but it was Kid and Play.
Yeah, oh yeah.
My uncle bought Kid and Play for me. You know what? I take it back. That was an early influence, but Ice Cube. I went to Edgemore Park and I was playing basketball, and the guys were a little older than me. They wouldn't let me play, and so one guy took his tape out. It was America's Nightmare, and he put it on the bench. And so I was like, "Oh, you don't want to let me play?" I took the tape. I ran home. I listened to it real low, but that was like the first album. But my first like real experience, like that I knew, like, okay, this is what I want to do, was Fresh Prince. Parents just don't understand.
Yeah.
That and LL Cool J, I'm bad. Like I was like in kindergarten, so I'm like, man, LL, he got this Panther, he got this big radio. He looked like he could kick my daddy ass if he tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was definitely buff. Man.
You know what I mean? And so parents just don't understand Fresh Prince, man. He, like Will Smith, was like the freshest guy out there at that time. I don't think people really understand the impact that he had. Yeah. And he went into acting, but had he not, he still would have had a great career in hip hop. Yeah. And so those were like my earlier influences, which is funny now because, you know, a lot of a lot of people are like, oh, those are corny. Kid and Play.
Yeah.
You know, with exception of Ice Cube, Will Smith, those aren't like conscious rappers like I am. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I had access to.
Summertime, man.
That's a hey,
That's a good jam.
he probably makes more than a lot of people ever make in their life just off that song per year.
Yeah.
Somewhere
You
right
can't-
now, somebody's listening to
Yeah, I know.
Summertime.
You can't.
Summertime. I feel good every time you hear it too.
Oh yeah. 'Cause I just started watching the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air again.
Okay.
And I hadn't watched it since it first came out. Really.
Hilarious.
Yeah, great. Still great. Holds up.
Yeah. I watched Night Court last. That was hilarious. The old one,
Yeah.
not the new one. I couldn't really get into the new one. I don't know.
It's like the new MacGyver. Like
There's a new MacGyver?
they did make it. I don't know. how many
he
episodes.
did. They did like
Something. Just,
I don't know. It was like the pilot or something. It was about it.
If they could have incorporated him into it somehow.
Like he was like his son or something,
Yeah,
or
you know what I
a
mean?
daughter or an aunt or an uncle or something, and
Yeah.
he learned from him.
Here, let me get this camera.
Because it's kind of like the young Indiana Jones. Remember, they actually incorporated Harrison Ford into it. So
Yeah. Next time he's in town, we're supposed to have lunch.
it might be in tomorrow to get his plane fixed.
Yeah, he'll call me. He usually does. So, I'm in town. I'm gonna go take a round Jeb by Harrison. You know I can't do that on days at NY. But when I get some free time, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I had a friend working one of the hotels down there by the place, and he came in and he goes, "Hey, do you got some people I can visit?" And he started calling a bunch of people around. I was one of them, but I said, "Dude, I wish I could. Just can't tonight because I'm already performing."
You know what I mean? It happens, man. He understands. He's a star like us.
It's amazing how many of those people actually stop in town, usually to get their jets fixed.
Yeah.
Or I've also learned a lot of acts stop in town between gigs because we don't we do to an extent,
Yeah.
but not so bad like some cities.
Well,
We don't have a ton of paparazzis trying to jump on them. We don't have the,
that's part of it. And I think like
and
nothing happens so much here that is unbelievable when something does happen. Like, hey, I was downtown at Homegrown and Serena Williams was having, brunch there.
and a lot of people just go, "Hi, how you doing?" and walk on. There's a few people that will get rude.
Well, I mean, when you really think about it,
Yeah, we got some good guesses. Everybody's within 500. Of course, the only person guessing right now is Jana. So, Russ, if you don't know, would guess between 1 and 500. And he's got these, I don't know which stickers he's going to give away, but he got stickers and patches. He's got some new patches and stickers coming up that'll give away if you guess the number within 1 and 500.
I'm sure.
and I'll personally touch it. You might even sign it. But,
Sign the back of it.
with stars like us, me and you, that is, in Wichita all the time, and they get used to seeing us, even though it doesn't diminish our starhood. Like, I could see why, like, when a Serena comes in town or something, it's not really that big of a deal. I like Serena. I think she's, well known or whatever. I mean, I'm humble, but I'm not for sure that she's just like, on our level.
Yeah.
She's on her own level.
Well, she's one of those too. I'm sure if people see her, a lot of people would go, "Oh," because she's definitely a well-known face.
Yeah, she's cool. She called me. She said, where should I eat at? I said, Homegrown, just stay. There's a hotel right down the street. Just walk. You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, all right, thanks. I'll see you next time I'm in town.
Yeah.
True story.
Cool. So, yeah, we were talking earlier how I actually, like I said, came across your name. It's because of Jiggy Jaguar. It had to have been because I've known him for, let's see, I retired 10 years ago from the military, and probably about about maybe 20 years. So I've known him for a while.
Yeah.
And he used to do that show in Salina, and every time I had to come to Salina,
Access.
And it was always Sunday I had to do, or Saturday night. I can't remember which night I had to do it. So I'd always just borrow his internet, and I'd be over there playing my show while he's doing his big show with his big board and stuff, and I'm walking in with just a little laptop. So,
man, he's actually good at what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Jiggy, man. He helped me a lot. He helped because he's connected a lot, like Salina, Manhattan, Junction, Hutch, in those little towns. So that helped my fan base a lot because I was able to connect with a lot of other MCs. I mean, a lot of other, not only MCs, but fan bases that were outside of just the Wichita area. So it helped me grow from like just a local artist to a regional artist. And so a lot of those people are still fans to this day. So shout out to G.
Yeah, like I said, I run into him about once every 2-3 years. It seems like, but
Yeah, bringing the world together.
Yeah. Been at it for a while, and
Yeah.
so of other things. So tell us about the new stuff you got coming in. When are you going to drop it, or has it dropped?
No, so it hasn't yet. So I've been shooting the videos and getting the content. It's a lot of work that goes into releasing the album. Unfortunately, they don't get the shelf life that they used to. So as what have it, I was working on a project with a producer from Chicago named Jackson Beats. It's JXSN. Does really soulful beats like I like. We got a dope project coming out. I actually just titled it the other day, but I won't release that yet. But halfway between that project was just a lot of stuff going on personally for both of us. So there was a miscommunication. So it kind of got put on the back burner, but I really love that music. In between time, I did another song because I just had to kind of keep moving. So I did another song with a producer from Brooklyn. His name is Project Porter, and so me and him did a project together. Shout out Project Porter. He's a really talented producer, and so once we finished that album, which is the next one that's going to release called Compelling Arguments. Then Jackson hit me back up and we kind of got back on the same page. So now, as fate will have it, I got 2 projects coming out. But Compelling Arguments with me and Project Porter. He's from Brooklyn. You can find him on YouTube or whatever. And we'll be doing some promotion like coming soon, like press releases and that type of thing. But man, it's only like 7 songs, but it's some of the best work that I've done. If you're familiar with any of my work, I do like more conscious hip hop, more thoughtful. And so it's an Israel album that you would expect. And so I'm not really deviating too much. I'm touching on a lot more topics. Some of the personal things that I've been going through in my life I've kind of been able to come to grips with it. Partly just getting to a certain age, partly just being in a place where I can really process all of it. Man, it's been a beautiful experience, and I've been able to put it into words. And so it's called Compelling Arguments because these are the songs, the ideals, the arguments that I felt compelled to talk about and kind of share with people. It's always important for me for my music to reflect who people know me to be. I think that that's one of the biggest things that helps independent artists in my at my level, because if the people like you and they like your music and your music is reflective of who you are, then that gives them more opportunity to share your music because they believe in it too, right? If I'm talking, this gangster shit and I'm doing this or doing that, and you're like, that's not who I know him for. Like, it's hard for you to share that. And some of the content is just hard to share. How do you share I like, strippers and type of thing. I'm a man now, right? But I don't know if I want you to play a song to your mom about titties.
Yeah.
I might listen to a song about titties, but I just probably would make one. And so I hope it's okay to say titties. And so yeah. And then so the new album, it's really more about like Wichita's had like a lot of youth violence lately. I'm very active in the community, behind the scenes, sometimes up front. I prefer to be behind the scenes, but we had a lot of violence, a lot of gang violence, a lot of things that's happening. And so I think that as artists, we do have a obligation to talk about certain things and tell both sides of the story. And so unfortunately, a lot of teens, all they're really getting is one side of the story, which is, the fun, the lavish lifestyle, the pursuit of money.
And it's being glamorized. They don't realize it actually takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears just to get where you're going.
Yeah.
And people aren't going to hand you nothing. Period.
Exactly.
No one owes you anything.
Yeah.
Period.
And I blame
it doesn't matter.
media.
It does not matter what you've been through.
Yeah.
No one owes you anything. And it's just you gotta be aware of that. Because you may be relevant today, but tomorrow you won't be. And if you want to stay relevant, you got to figure out how you're going to do that. And then you got to figure out what you consider success,
Yeah.
Because it's all about getting out there and doing things.
What the hell I got going on back there?
It's interesting.
It's a bass. It's a bass.
Yeah, it's a bass.
That's Kevin's famous last words. It's a bass.
Where'd mine disappear to?
No, I just think that while street culture is interesting,
How you're gonna make that look like
there's more than just
okay, you got a Snoop Dogg reference here.
street culture is interesting, but there's more than like just the crime and violent aspect of it. Like, I came from a beautiful neighborhood. We had beautiful experiences, beautiful people who were very close knit, who looked out for each other the best that we could. And so those are also stories that I try to tell.
Yeah.
And so that's the album with Jackson. And all of it is really soulful music, from the samples to the instrumentation. I think we live in a very fast-paced world, and sometimes we need to take a breather. And I hope that my music is that breath of fresh air that allows people to kind of take their time, kind of think things through, and figure it out.
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I wouldn't bullshit. I
appreciate it.
I listened to a lot of music, and I tried to give everything a chance, and some of it's just like,
I understand.
I won't say anything about any of our guests, but I haven't liked all of their music, and we have fun. We don't care. And like I said, I just didn't talk about their music if I didn't like it. I just kind of avoided that question.
But that's dope that you can be fair and impartial.
So the bands would do like their music. They don't want to talk about their music. They talk about everything else.
Oh, well, yeah.
Which I don't blame them, because if they do a lot of shows, you can only ask so many things about music.
Man, I answer whatever.
It's like, to be honest with you, I want to know about your dogs and your cats and your goldfish.
I don't have any of those.
Turtle, alligator, snakes.
Turtles are definitely delicious. So are goldfish.
Yeah.
I do have one question. Well, I got a couple questions that
Yeah,
I started to ask. One that I started to ask every show.
Okay.
I got to remember it now. Drawing a blank, just like the thing.
Rubik's Cube.
No, that was. I don't know if I like that one.
I do. Rubik's
What was the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you on stage?
Shout out to my homegirl Solo. The first out of town show I did was in Oklahoma, in Seminole, Oklahoma. And so we were doing this show, and this girl was kind of like looking at me a little bit before the show. So the show goes on, and my verse comes on, so I hop off stage, and I'm rapping to her because she's in the front, and this guy standing next to her, like, looking really mean. I was like, kind of back off a little bit. So I go to get back on stage. I didn't fall. I did slip a little bit, but the awkward part was later on I found out that this was her boyfriend that was standing next to her while I'm rapping to her. I'm like, I could have got beat up in the middle of a show. But yeah, that I would say that's about it. Other than, other stuff happens. You just work around it. Like
forgetting lines and, messing up a line.
Yeah, that happens. You know what I mean?
Losing your place.
I remember one time, I was on stage and I was like the song was about to come on and I just drew a blank. I was like, but then as soon as the first word came out, it all came back at that point.
Well, where do you get your beats from? You make them or you got a guy?
So I used to make some myself. I want to focus more on just the writing aspect of it. But like I mentioned, my man Project Porter, my guy Jackson, a lot of them I buy offline. That's just better for me. Shout out to B Smith. He did a lot of my earlier albums. For whatever reason, with the exception of Melon and Sons, most of the projects that I've released has been like mono produced. Just one producer that I've worked with. I don't know why it's worked out like that, but man, the internet is beautiful because I can type in the mood that I feel and kind of go with it. A dope story is actually Cycles. It's produced by a producer named Urban Nerd. Shout out to Urban Nerd. Urban Nerd a few months ago was posting beats, and he had this beat called J. Cole type of beat. J. Cole finds the beat and uses it and gives him the rights to the song, which was pretty cool. So I've been able to work with a producer that worked with J. Cole. I worked with a Dream Life Beats. He did the beat for Top Down, which is like my biggest single, but he's did tracks for like Jeezy and a few different people, notable people. And then I never released a song, but I also did a song with a producer named Nasheem Myrick. Nasheem Myrick is famous for making the beat for Notorious Big song "Who Shot You," which kind of kicked off.
The whole beef.
You get that. It's funny how you get that one break. If you get that one break, how it can carry you. But once you get the foot in the door, what you gonna do? A lot of people get the foot in the door and they're like, "Oh, I've made it," but they don't do anything to maintain it.
Man,
that's
because like.
Jen is about the only one guessing.
The thing about it is that like with music, once you break down one barrier, you realize that it's another barrier to break down, especially as an independent artist. And that's why labels have so many departments to do so many different things. When you're independent artist, you got to do all that yourself. You know what I mean? And everybody's not built for it. So after you just designed your own flyer and you just passed out 500 flyers for a show and barely 50 people show up, that's 10%.
You're playing to the bartender
you know what I mean?
A couple other people off the street. That happens. It happens.
And people who may not even be like your target audience, but when you love it, you love it. You make your best out of it. So for some people that discourages them, and for others it doesn't. So I released my first solo album, and it was called Shine, SEAN, which stands for Surpassing Expectations and All Negativity. So, man, I put a lot of money into this album. I paid for the radio station and live broadcast from my album release party. Did flyers, design, and some people came, but the venue was so big that it didn't really look like it was that many people. A guy gets on stage at the end of the show and starts freestyling. Some people, he gets mad that no one's listening to it, throws the mic down and breaks it. So that cut into my profit because now I got to buy these people a new mic. And I was really discouraged. I was working at T-Mobile after that time, and I went to work, and there's a popular magazine called Double XL, hip hop magazine. And so I get Double XL magazine, and it says, that this historic label is relaunching. This historic label is called Penalty Entertainment. So they've had artists like Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz, the Beat Nuts. I don't know if you know who that is. I think Little Mo was on there. Probably most notable, Noriega from Component Noriega. And so I see this phone number, and this is like the next day. And so I call this number, and I'm like, you know what? I don't got nothing else to, nothing else. So I send this song. This guy, he answered the phone, and this guy from New York, he's talking to me. I talk to him. I send him a track, and he sends me the track back. And I mean, I'm an artist, so I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna get this track. He's gonna love this track. Let's talk record deals, right? And it didn't work out like that. But something better happened. I formed a friendship with him. This guy's name is Warren Schatz. Warren Schatz is famous for Turn the Beat Around. He produced that song. And so he's a legend, man. He's become a friend and a mentor. He introduced me to Neil Levine. Neil Levine is the one who is him and Warren like run the label together. But Neil Levine, I think he has like a Grammy for Make It Rain, I think it is, with Fat Joe and Lil Wayne. His first record that he like promoted to radio was my mom's playing tricks on me by the Ghetto Boys.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's
he's been
definitely
in,
in the rotation.
he's been in the game that long, and so these guys came in and they helped me. And so my point is, I formed a relationship with him, man. He taught me so much about the industry, and when you're an artist, that moment, that next step, it may not look like you want it to look, but it could be right around the corner. And so that
And the helm.
Huh?
that
And
was
the helm.
Excuse me.
again the most important thing. Shout out to Warren, shout out to Neil. The most important thing was the friendship that I was able to make with them, and because whether I did another record or not, I consider those guys friends.
Yeah, when you do something that's outside of business with people, you may not have done the business, but you got the and he recommends people to you too. Because maybe he's at a level that you're not at yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's going, but hey man, I got another guy that needs what you need. And that happens a lot too. And
just the fact that as an independent artist, I can call somebody who has legitimate, credentials in this industry, in my genre in particular, and I can ask questions that I know they could charge other people $1,000 for, thousands of dollars for, and they talk to me, they give me their feedback, whether it be good or bad. It's beautiful to me.
Yeah,
that's worth any amount.
And most artists that are legit want to share their knowledge too, because
they're artists too.
Yeah, it's they may hide off, not say anything until their new music comes out, but the old stuff that's already out and stuff like that, because a lot of times they keep it, because you've seen that happen, especially when Napster was around and all the music that was getting stolen and stuff that wasn't even supposed to be out yet or released, and all of a sudden there it is, and it still happens. But it's
I figure like, if somebody wants my music so bad that they want to leak it, I'm doing something right. Go on, get it.
Well, yeah, I mean, at our level, but I'm talking some of those levels that these guys are, gold albums and platinum albums, and all of a sudden they got a new song, not even completely mixed and done up yet, and it's out there.
Yeah,
they're like, what the hell, man? Who released that? It had to be somebody within their core people too.
I was talking to Warren one day, and I was, kind of bitching and complaining, and he shared some stories with me that I won't reshare. But it was just really encouraging to me. But like for him, and then my guy June Balloon, who is in New York, man, this guy's like in hip hop. If you like, especially in the New York area, he's one of those glue guys that everyone knows. He's like friends with everybody. So I'm talking to these guys, and they just tell me stories. Like Warren was like, yeah, so one day I'm on the bus with Dion, and we're talking, and I'm like, Dion. Oh yeah, Dion Ward. We were like, come on, man. Like, that's legendary shit. Like,
name dropping.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he was name dropping. He's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that type of thing. June, man, he's been very instrumental to me. The guy's worked for Cash Money. He's worked for Bad Boy Records. He's worked for Rough Riders, and he's a friend of mine. I can call him and ask him questions, and he's going to tell me the truth about things, and he's telling me stories. Oh, one day I'm watching Notorious Big video. It's let me think. I love it when you call me Big Papa. Yeah. I believe that's the video. And so I'm looking, and all of a sudden I see in the background, it's like, I know that guy. Rewind deposit, sure enough, is my guy. You know what I mean? And so I called him. He just started laughing. He's like, "But did you think I was lying?" I was like, "Nah, I didn't think you lied." But how cool is it that while I'll never get to meet Big, and he's one of my favorite rappers, that kind of influenced me and helped me develop my style more. It's dope to know someone who knew him. You know what I mean? And so that's been pretty big for me.
Yeah, the thing I like too, when we were earlier, you were saying that people wanted you to go faster.
Yeah.
And you were talking about that. And I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
Because we got enough fast rappers around here. We really do. And not all of them are gangster rappers or anything, right. But it's nice to have that kind of mellow, easy jazz, kind of bluesy sound that you got going on some of your stuff. And you got a deeper vocals.
Can you remember time when you surprised?
Do you know Russ Young? So as long as it's
Russ is our guy.
What's up, Russ? Let me see.
Can you remember time when you surprised one of our your mentors a thought, or that's what he's asking.
Yeah. So, I was driving down Kellogg one day, and I seen this to answer your question, Russ. I was driving down Kellogg one day. If you're not from Wichita, that's the highway, right? It runs right through town. And I seen a billboard, and I was like, you know what, man? I want my own billboard, right?
Yeah.
And I start thinking about it, like where I'm at in my career is at the best expenditure of money, right? Regardless of whether it's the best expenditure of money, it could be good exposure. So what I did was I went to a merch shop and I got 2 vinyl banners. I went to the bridge over Kellogg and I put one going each way. So no matter which way you went in traffic, you would see the banner. And I made my own billboard. And so I stood out there, people hunked, they got to see the sign. People were texting me and leaving, man, I seen your banner.
People were rearing each other looking at the
You know what I mean? And so I went live, and it was partly to promote one of my albums. And my friend June that I was telling you about, he was like, man, that's one of the most genius things that I've seen an artist do to promote itself for the price of what it cost me to make 2 banners, which were cheaper than
the whole billboard.
Than the whole billboard. And I
now
took them down and put them up and
Yeah.
used them in different places.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
That's the winner there. You pointed it out earlier, remember? Yeah,
Miss Jana.
Jana again.
Jenna, I don't know how you guessed it.
It's written on his shirt.
Yeah. So that's my shirt. That's my slogan.
Let's get to you. Where'd you go?
Yeah, my slogan is I want to be your favorite rapper.
Get him up here.
Oops.
7.
Now, is it all just digital, or do you have any hard copy stuff out there?
I used to, but people just stopped asking for them, so I do small runs. If people ask, usually
I'm asking because that's the only way I really listen. I tell you.
All right, cool. I'll take care of you.
It's always in my truck because that's where I listen to most of my music.
CD?
CD.
Usually what I do is I get like about 20 copies with T-shirts and posters, and I'll give them away ourselves.
And independent small runs the best way to go anyway. Because if you do.
Now back in the day,
tubs of shit.
Yeah, back in the day, now I got the backpack. I filled them up with CDs, and that's when I was learning lessons. Like the first time I got the thanks Russ. I got the traditional jewel cases. Well, they crack, they break. People don't want to buy it, even though the CD's still the same.
Yeah.
You got something to discount rate. So then I learned the next time to
cardboard sleeves.
Yeah, get the cardboard sleeves. You know what I mean? And as long as you don't bend the tips, you're all right. The lighter to carry. Yeah. More economically friendly. Yeah.
You can put them in the same box that you had and have twice as many as in the box.
I learned a lot, from being with
Streamline.
Yeah, like that was like one of my first marketing lessons, because you're so happy you get the CD, you're out in the community, like, hey, you want to buy this, and you didn't intend for rejections to come. You didn't intend for, I don't have any change. Yeah. All I got is a card.
Excuses.
I don't listen to hip hop. Yeah. So then you learn to get it together. I will ask them, hey, you like hip hop? No. Right.
Pitch in, see, have a good one.
Yeah.
People now they say, all I got's a card.
Now I got to scan it.
Right. You get one now? Mine's.
I've had one, but I've lost several.
I had to get one of those, and I
got one of those bigger ones too.
Learn. Don't ask them if they like hip hop. Do you support local artists?
Yeah.
I had a guy that actually approached me. I don't know who he was. Some guy was peddling out front and said, man, I got these CDs, and he showed me one. So I bought one from him just because he was peddling. It could have been nothing on there for all I cared. And it was some kind of most of it was rap, but it was kind of like a gospel rap thing going on. But he did it like years ago. And it was just a few months ago that I bought it from him. So I guess he was just hurting for some money and need to get some more money. So he was out hustling. So it
happens. I'm not mad at him.
I don't buy from record stores hardly anymore. Well, except for the game. But
I actually think that is going to go back to physical copies. Give it about 5 years.
Vinyl albums starting to come back.
Last year was the first year that vinyl albums outsold CDs since like the 90s or so. But I think that the reason why I think it's going to go back to physical copies is because the stream game is like BS. It just is like, I did the song Top Down. At this point, it's probably did like 600,000 streams. You know what I mean? Like, but you would think, oh, yo, that's amazing, but
60 cents, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got it. Wait, my Dragons and Titties song, it's got like 1,000 hits, but we've seen maybe 0.00001 cents off of it. So
right.
And I said it's going to be artists, the artists that make that movement, I think, because, like StreamYard, like Spotify and all that, they're banking right now. They're making hella money.
Yeah.
The artists aren't, but
eventually it'll come to a point because you got to think like the nature of hip hop started out of the trunk. Part of hip hop, you can't separate it from the independent hustle, from the grind, from the motivation to make money. So eventually they're gonna be like, you know what? You're gonna find an artist like Drake. If he decided he wasn't gonna be on streaming and you can only get his new music on CD, guess what people do?
Yeah.
They go buy a CD. They go buy his CD players too. But
what is this archaic thing?
I think that's where it's gonna go. Like back to that. Like, okay, you can only get this exclusive.
We're seeing it within the punk scene that vinyl and tapes are starting to come back already.
Yeah.
And the punk scene's kind of pre-hip hop. They were the ones, selling out of their jackets, their back trunk of their broke down cars and stuff like that. And I think it cycles through.
I think it'll be flash drives. You'll have like you'll open your trench coat up and have flash. Which song you want? Which song you want?
There are some. I got some flash drives from some bands too. But
I seen.
Unfortunately, my car doesn't have a flash drive.
I seen this band or this rapper. He was very creative. He had the whole album, the EPK, and videos on the flash drive.
Yeah. So
I was like, man, that's
I bought a flash drive. It was actually a credit card flash drive.
Yeah,
I had 2 of their albums plus some of their videos on it.
Yeah, because that was always the fun of some of the CDs is getting a DVD with it.
Yeah,
you don't know. The problem though, they're this big and they're so easy to misplace, and I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know if it's still around.
One thing I like about rock that's different from hip hop is that lovers of rock are more keen to listen to an undiscovered band. They're looking for the undiscovered band versus hip hop is different. It's like no one wants to hear you till everybody's already heard you. Yeah. It's kind of backwards in that sense. And then like the creativity that they bring, like with videos and different things like that, and even some of the independent like Drive, like another group, they released a new album. You could buy the album for like $20. It's on flash drive. Or you can pay $50 or like $500, something crazy like that. Like $500, and then they guaranteed you would get all their new albums for life.
Oh wow!
I said, wow.
That internet hustle on,
Yeah, that's ingenuity.
So what happens if they break up or whatever happens?
I guess
you got to give them a discount back.
I would say, hey.
Or well, it says for life, so I guess if the guy goes and he dies like a year later, hey, that was his life.
Yeah.
You got to get creative. You can't ever think, oh, I've got it made. I figured it out. Yeah. Because as soon as you think you figured it out, the game's changing.
Yeah. And so many people I still see it today because I still hit a lot of them. But on Facebook or on Instagram, I had like 50, 60, 70 people say they're going to come to the show. And I go, well, did you support shows prior to that saying you're going to play at this venue? Or did you go out and shake some hands? Did you go out and post some flyers? No. Yeah. I'm like, man, you still got to do that. You still got to go out and do the hustle. You got to do the ground hustle. Yeah. It's just another avenue.
It's gifts and curse to everything. Now, the cool thing is that if someone likes your music, you can add word of mouth with the speed of the internet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now, if I found a song that I liked, 20, 30 years ago, I had to come and find you. I had to play the CD for you or play the tape for you. Now I can just send you a link. Like, I'm going to check this out. You're like, oh, shit,
they can be sitting on the toilet listening to it.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the mailing list, too, because when I was writing the magazine, I had a mailing list that I'd go buy us couple books of stamp books or whatever, books of stamps. And then I would send out all these people. And then, 2 or 3 would come back at me because no longer living there. But then, and then probably I was just always sending out, newsletters.
Yeah.
And then probably out of a couple hundred that I'd send out, I'd get probably 10 want to get my zine and stuff like that. So it was hard work, but it worked.
Which is what I was saying. Like, that's what separates. Man, it's hard as hell to feel like an artist performing for 20 people. It's hard as hell to feel like an artist, when you write a song and this is a great song and it just doesn't get the response that it does. And when you learn the game, when you learn, one thing my friend June taught me was, what I learned from him was the difference between what I thought the industry was and what it really is. And when you learn that, you go back and you see like these old interviews from your favorite artist and you hear them talk about like these pain points in the music industry, and all of a sudden it makes sense now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's what it takes to really push through. You know what I mean? You just gotta really
perseverance.
I know some of those bigger artists too. Back when I used to do my zine and stuff, a lot of them were like, "Man, I sure do miss the days when I was selling out in the back of my trunk." There was just so much more honesty, so much more. Your fans are coming up to now. I can't sell my stuff because we're signed by a label.
Yeah,
and so I can't sell at the shows, or if they do, it's at the table.
The rest is still guessing. Jan already got it, Russ. You know the name of the game. This is an algorithm trick. So. I don't know if it's been working, but
Well, he's been on here a lot. We love you, Russ, man. We love you.
He's still got a box coming.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
We got like 3 people that just constantly guess. There's a few people that haven't been on a lot lately. It's like, okay, where you at? We're coming.
Yeah, so
they may not be able to get through the web traffic. What's that? 2.6 million.
Yeah,
people.
Yeah, it just rounds it up. That's just 1,000. Yeah,
just round
it drops
up
the K
million.
because it's so cool.
Yeah. It's hard to say, but well, because there's one. Well, no, you don't have it anymore. Remember, there'd be people watching us, but they couldn't talk to us.
Yeah, that was when we broadcast to our personal pages.
Your personal page.
But I didn't want the views going there anyhow. I wanted them coming to the Room Green page because that's the shit I'm trying to build. I didn't want them coming. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Well, we had a handful of people on there for a minute. I mean, close to 10, and then I think what happened was because we went off twice.
Yeah,
Let me ask you guys a question.
Well, it's on the internet forever, so they can go back and watch it.
And Janice said we just froze.
Who's your favorite local rapper? Local.
You. No.
Thank you.
No,
currently, yes.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you perform, though, but I love what you got going. I can't. It's more of a mood for me because I have some bias because I'm on Thane's video.
Okay. I like Thane. Thane, actually.
And I'm a costume entertainer, so I'm on several videos.
Okay.
I really like what.
That's how he's patting his back too.
I really like what. Yeah, I'm just triggering my memory here. I really like what Nick Skibb is doing and the way he's doing some stuff.
Okay, I know Nick.
And but there's so many of them. I'm friends with so many of them. I really like what Sir Charles is doing with that band.
Okay.
Charles Edgar, and he's got that band that he's doing stuff now, and the live band. And they doing some jazzy stuff, but it's live and stuff like that. So you don't get to see that much because it's more of a professional. It's like it's easy for him to get paid doing his solo stuff or paying the whole band, which is a little bit harder to do.
Yeah. What about what was the first album that you listened to that was like, okay, I like hip hop?
First one, I would say.
What popped your cherry?
It was probably Jazzy Jeff. I mean, I was watching their Fresh Prince.
Okay.
I was watching Fresh Prince when it first came on, and so that's what first introduced me to it.
I have a strange story. Okay. I went to college in '82.
Damn.
Hip hop wasn't really a thing yet, even nationwide.
Not nationwide, you're right.
And even in New York and stuff. But I had a roommate from like Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
He had these tapes. He goes, man, you need to check this stuff out because it's live on radio.
Yeah.
And these guys were like, and doing all this stuff. And back then it was really weird sounding because obviously he's doing it with the 2-push thing. And I remember listening to it, and it sounded to me like somebody just doing like grind on a guitar because of the scratching, because it was,
right.
They're probably scratching with the old single arm thing, so
Right.
they hadn't had it down yet. But you were listening to it, it's like, oh my gosh, because man, this is a big thing coming, man. And that was before before Russell Simmons did his thing with all those guys and all that kind of stuff, or was happening at that time in New York. So that was my first experience too. But man, it was just so, but I was always into somebody being totally different.
Okay.
So I've always been there. I couldn't even tell you who they were actually MCs. That's what they called them.
Yeah.
They weren't,
but back then it wasn't even really,
DJs.
it was more about the DJ than it was the rapper.
DJ.
The rapper was just like the sideshow with that.
But probably some of the first ones was definitely, oh my gosh, I kind of go old school like Kid Frost and
Kid, this for La Raza.
yeah, Booyah Tribe
I
and
remember Booyah Tribe.
Cypress Hill,
Okay.
and then some before him. What was the name? Cool Mo D.
Cool Mo D.
It
Wild
was
Wild
probably
West.
yes, and then of course Cool.
Cool J.
Yeah, LL Cool J came out with "Knock Your Mama Out."
Mama said knock
Knock
you
you
out.
And then that one where he's cruising in the car. I can't remember the name of that one.
Going back to Cali.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few, and then I remember when MC
yeah, I
Hammer
love
came
that
out and
video.
the way he was dancing, and I just joined the Army, and a lot of these guys were like, man, I want to dance like that. And they got the parachute pants on and everything.
So my friend Edward Ellis, who's from Wichita, has been on tour with Hammer for the last 20 years.
Mm.
Like, so
Well,
he has
Reverend Hammer now, but yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
I don't play with that guy. Shout out to him. Man, he was my early influences. Like, Can't Touch This. Man, that was so huge. That song was like,
He was such a great entertainer, but he wanted everybody. He wanted to share his wealth with everybody, and I think that was his downfall. And nothing wrong with him. That's him. I mean, that's what he did. So.
It depends on what you consider downfall. If I had the career accolades of Hammer, I wouldn't do that.
And I wouldn't even say it was a downfall.
Matter of fact,
downfall. He's still
I'm gonna
around.
send this to Edward. Hammer, if you see this, I still want a verse. I would do a track with Hammer today.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it was amazing because he put on some, man, when he was at the height of that, he just had like 1,000 people on stage, man. It was just incredible.
Right.
What was he like? The last album he went with kind of gangster. He was running with Tupac a little bit, I think. And I'm like,
I think,
come on, that's pretty fucking cool, man.
Yeah, but I think
the music necessarily wasn't, because like we knew Hammer as Too Legit. And
well, I'm saying I think
praying,
I think that was his public persona. He's from Oakland.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what he had to do.
I seen a documentary about Hammer and like how there's a few different rappers. I'm gonna say like Method Man, not Method Man, but Red Man.
Yeah, Red Man.
And a couple other people that like said slick shit to Hammer. And he came and seen them. And they were like,
they're like, oh,
Hammer, please don't hurt me.
No,
Like, literally, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how we got that name, huh? Hammer.
Yeah.
Got the hammer down.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's so much when it came to rap, though, and I was there for all it because when that movie came out, when those rap artists would get with those rock bands like Anthrax and the Man Song, and oh my gosh,
I'm gonna say
Judgment Night was the name of the movie, Judgment Night.
Never heard of it.
And there was these. If you get the soundtrack, it's a bunch of rap artists. I know Anthrax was on there, but so was like some others, and then some of the bigger names in rap. They mixed it all together.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you ever heard metal and rap together.
Yeah.
And now there's metal rap bands out there.
Yeah. Even hip hop.
Yeah.
My friend, shout out to Brad when he's in Florida, but he's real cool with artists. It's kind of in that hip hop genre. Hard Target. They're friends and they tour together, so that's pretty dope. I think for me, maybe it's just my age, but I think the first album that I really remember that was like a hip hop album that was like, widely shared amongst everybody, regardless to race or whatever, was the Chronic. Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, you couldn't go anywhere without having a CD with the weed leaf on it. You know what I mean? And that, to me, that was like one of the first iconic pop culture albums that transcended.
He did
both
it with
sides.
Death Row, right? And then he
Yeah,
left
that is
Death
true.
Row right after, and that's why
I think
you
so,
can't
yeah.
find it. I mean, it was not on streaming for a while,
Yeah.
and it like came out for like 420, and it came out for a bit, and then it's not on there no more.
I mean, you
That's
can
smart
find
marketing, though, if you
Yeah.
think about it. That
off,
way,
off copies here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got the CD, but yeah.
hardcore fans will pay that $500, $600, $700 for that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's dope.
And we just need to do a history with hip hop with a separate show with him.
Yeah.
Man.
Flat out, because man, I'm like,
I love it. I
remember all those, because you had the Onyx that came out, and
Yeah.
of course,
Sticky Fingers.
you can't forget all the Beastie Boys when they came out.
Well,
Well, they to me that was like the first rock rap.
it kind of was.
Yeah.
Because they
But
see
if
that.
you have because all these other guys who discovered them though, was it
Rick
Dr.
Rubin.
Well, was it Rick Rubin that discovered him? But I remember Dr. Dre talking about him because these three white guys came out and they just blew everybody off the stage.
Yeah.
And we're like, God damn, we got to follow this.
Yeah. Beastie Boys. I remember them. MC Search and Third Base,
Mhm.
Cactus album, those type of things. Yeah, but that's, to me, I understand why hip hop is what it is, because it's really the only genre that can easily incorporate any other genre, because a producer can sample whatever, you know what I mean, and someone will rap over it, whether it's like classical music or jazz or rock music, whereas
banjo.
you really wouldn't hear like a rock band. You wouldn't think of a rock band rapping over like a DJ Premier or singing over a DJ Premier beat. It might actually be dope. And I like those mashups. I just heard somebody did like a Michael Jackson trap music album.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
like
There's people that sit down and they figure that out and they'll do the whole
The
thing.
remixes and some other
Yeah,
crazy
it was
shit.
As long
man.
as it's in the right key,
Yeah.
man, who cares? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so I think you want to take yours home and work on it, and we'll reconverge next Saturday, next Sunday, next week, and see what we have.
Okay.
Since I don't ever you get to work on them. I always get to kind of finish them because it's at the house, so I always put the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, I know you got rid of my lightning bolt. What the hell, man?
I couldn't. I tried, Kevin. I tried.
Well, you saw I was trying to, and I just had the wrong brush. So
Yeah,
I like what you
tried.
did. Maybe
Good.
a little sunbeam one.
So
It was still lightning.
So there's a different brush for different.
Well, when you want a fine
Oh,
point, you got to
yeah.
have a real tiny
Yeah.
brush, and
That makes sense. I mean,
or
it's
sometimes I'll get out my little paint pens and do that, or
Yeah.
a marker.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's sacred. So
A week is usually 7
if you wanna do it
days.
this way.
Yes. I know, Russ.
what do you say?
A week is usually 7 days. 7 days from now, not Saturday, Sunday. Sunday, we'll see what we got. We'll see what we come with. This will be our art assignment for the week,
Yeah,
We'll finish Snoop.
We haven't done one of those yet.
and we'll finish
Yeah,
our
it's a lot more
Snoops.
detail, obviously. So I'm definitely gonna have to figure that one out.
Yeah. So we'll see what we got, and then I think maybe we'll do raffle on squirrels, or I don't know. I kind of want to revisit it too, and maybe I don't know. I like it, but
man,
it hasn't sold. So this is that was like episode 4 or something.
it's just waiting for the right owner. The
I
right
know.
owner has not appeared yet.
We haven't been showing that one much either.
Yeah.
You got to just target squirrel lovers.
Squirrel lovers.
Yeah, a dancing squirrel with a random Martian flying through.
It was weird times. But all right, we're gonna get off here. We'll be back next week. Thank you for coming on.
Hey,
Like
I
I said,
appreciate you having me.
IZ316
Yeah,
on
just-
almost all platforms.
Yeah, Google.
Sometimes it's got a hyphen in it, right?
I own both
Okay.
both domains.
Yeah.
IZ-316 and IZ316. If you Google either of those,
It'll
please go check me out, man. Tell your friends about me. My name is Iz. I'm gonna be your favorite rapper. I got a new album coming out, Compelling Arguments, with my man Project Porter. You want to check that out. It's going to drop later this summer. And then the next album, my man Jackson, I'm not ready to release the title of that one yet, but that'll be dropping like closer to fall.
Yep. So follow the pages and you'll get notified. And we're going to get off here. We're going to get on with our Sunday.
And next week,
100.
bring all your family, sit at the dinner table and watch us because we're at 100.
100, and we got
Polly.
I should have held out to next week.
We got Polly Wyndham. She's going to be broadcast streaming in from Nashville, and we're going to have a bunch of people.
Nashville.
Supposedly a few people coming in to paint with us. And
sounds like it because I know I invited one. I think someone else coming in too.
Yeah,
or is she coming in to back her Bacchus stuff up again?
Well, she said she wanted to come in and paint. So we'll see if she comes in and paints, and I mean we'll give her the floor a little
next
bit.
We'll need to pull out a big one or something, huh?
We'll see.
I got.
We'll see. You're gonna pull out the big
Yeah,
one.
I was like, my mind went immediately dirty than that one, Kevin. So that was the guy that had the Twitter guys or Twitch guys.
Yeah.
All in a hot mess. They were, couldn't control themselves. But all right, we're gonna get off here.
It's just our show.